Welcome to Cooking with Andrea. Thanks for coming in and cooking with me. Today I'm really super excited. We're going to be making our Philly cheesesteak. I love Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. The components are whole onion sliced. I'm going to do half a red bell pepper and half a green bell pepper. And then I have about a pound of this beautiful, it's a thin sliced ribeye. I'm going to cut it in strips. And I'm going to fry it up. And then my little twist is I use a little au jus after I fry the meat. I dip my meat and put it on the bread. I've got some lemon pepper, some garlic powder, and some Italian seasoning, some provolone cheese, and I've got my nice sourdough buns right here. It's going to go great for my Philly cheese. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start slicing. As soon as I get everything sliced up, I'll be back and then we'll start frying and assembling. Welcome back. Thanks. Let's see here. Thanks for coming in and cooking with me. I really do appreciate that. I'm just mixing my onions and my bell pepper so you can kind of see. Pretty much took almost more than half of the red and more than half of the green and almost all of the onion, just to let you see. I wanted the colors. You know, I always tell you guys I'm not very fancy schmancy about presentation, but I think a little color adds presentation to the food. I'm just going to go ahead and put my pan up a little bit hotter, and then we're going to go ahead. I have a tablespoon of oil, canola oil. I took 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of Italian, and 1 teaspoon of lemon pepper. I'm just going to take a mix with my fingers like that, and then I'm going to put it over the meat that I showed you. It was sliced ribeye. Got it at Costco for a pretty darn good price that week. They had a sale going on, and boy, I think I got like 4 or 5 pounds of this, and I went ahead and separated it. You know how I always do. I'm always separating my meats, vacuum packing, and I put them in 1 pound increments. So this is really good Philly cheese meat, really good French dip meat, really good taco meat, because you're talking a ribeye. So when I do things like that, I want to do it really good. So I've sprinkled a whole bunch of seasoning. I still have some left. I'm going to go ahead and reserve it for when I put it in the pan. And we are ready to go. Okay, we're ready to put our onions, our bell peppers, and in here, I'll sprinkle a little bit of this reserve seasoning, because I want seasoning. I'm going to cook the onions and the bell pepper for about 4.5 minutes. We in my household like our bell peppers and onions got where there's a little bit of bite to them. I should be able to take my fingernail and put it in and break it. That's when I know it's done for my family. Some people like them done a lot more. Some people even like them done not as much as we do it. So I'm just going to let it start to cook. Reason I'm doing the onions and bell pepper first is it's going to give me flavor to season my meat as well. It's going to have that natural. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of seasoning, and I am going to season these veggies. And this is one of our favorite things to have. We're really into the bell pepper and onion. Reason I make the onions this way is you guys all know that I can't eat an onion like that, but I can eat the flavor. That's why normally I use onion powder. But when it's like this, I can pick around it, get the bell pepper, but I also get the wonderful juices from the actual onion. You know me, I'm always pureeing my onion, doing it that way so that I don't have to eat big chunks of onion, because I do not like the texture, but I do like the onion. So I suggest, people do it this way too. This is another cool thing for kids. If you kind of let them dress their own sandwich at dinner, like we'll sometimes just put this on the table and I'll put it on my little lazy Susan, and we'll just move it around. And everybody can pick. It's kind of cool. The kids will pick out even the veggies. They really like the color. That's just something they go to. Oh my gosh, so it's kind of funny. Get your kids to eat their veggies and everybody's happy. Can't ask for better than that. Good Lord. Okay, so I'm going to move these around. Try not to throw anything on the counter or the floor like I do sometimes. I'm going to move my pan closer to me. I have short arms, so I think I need to pull my pan closer. Got a good smell. Sizzling good. I'm going to turn mine down just a teeny bit. I don't want anything to burn. Picking up my onion I threw on the floor too, by the way. I get all messy sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and put my seasonings away. I'll put them in the description for you after I'm done. And then we'll go from there. I wanted to explain my au jus. My au jus is going to add some flavor. I'm not really adding any salt because lemon pepper has some salt to it. So I'm not going to add any salt because I am going to use my wonderful au jus. Because normally when I put it on the table for my family, what I do is I take and put this on a very thin serving plate. And I don't want the au jus to mask all my great flavors, so I put it very light. I kind of like do a dip of meat with my tongs and put it in and bring it right back out and start stuffing sandwiches. Or what I'll do is put it on that nice little serving tray. I'll go ahead, dip it in the au jus, put it on the plate, and then I'll take it in and we'll start eating that way. But that's kind of what I do. But I like the au jus because it gives it a little bit of juiciness. Some people, I don't use any mayonnaise whatsoever for mine. I want the onion, the bell pepper, the bread, and the wonderfully seasoned meat to come through. You know, and I need lots of ideas for dinner, you know, because we're not always ones that want to sit down and eat, you know, a big meal. We're not really into that. My husband especially, he doesn't really like to sit down and just eat a lot. He would like to have a little bit more vegetable kind of salad. He's my inspiration because of this thing getting old, you know. We have to eat better. So my husband's my inspiration. Right here, this au jus pack, use it. It's really good. It's very salty though. If you stick your finger in, ooh, that's a whole lot of salt. I'll tell you another thing too. That's why I just dip it in, or you can pour it over, but when it goes in my bread, it's going to help make everything nice. It's going to melt my cheese too. So I'm going to put that back on my burner over here, just so it stays warm. Okay. We're doing great. Okay, my veg is almost done. Because what I'll do is end up putting, after I take this out, I'll go ahead and fry up my meat. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to incorporate everything. So then we'll get a nice bite of everything. Excuse me. Smells delicious. Absolutely delicious. Look at all these beautiful, vibrant colors. You know how I always tell you, presentation will come. This is the best one. And guess what? We've got good season in here. So our veggies are good. Okay, I can break my veggie. Let me try my onion. You know, my onion might need just a minute more. But otherwise, we like it like this, and it's good. And like I said, it'll cook for another minute. As once I get the meat cooked, we'll incorporate the vegetable back in, and then we're gonna let it sit there, and I'm gonna put some cheese. So when I grab a nice chunk of meat, dip it in my au jus, put it straight into my bun, everything will be tasting good. We'll have plenty of season. Okay, well, I believe our veg is done for right now. Like I said, it's gonna go back in again, and if you like yours done more, just cook it a few minutes more. Okay. I'm gonna wipe my pan. Make sure I have no grease. Look at these veggies. You can see they look fantastic. Now I'm gonna turn my pan back on. I'm gonna turn my pan on a high heat though. High. Because I want my meat to get a little bit of brown on it. Just put like a half a teaspoon of oil more, just so it circulates, and it'll be nice and hot when I drop my meat. I got my 4 pieces of provolone. That's normally how much cheese I put on one, so we get a good cheese content. Not only that, that's what's going to make the sandwich super delicious with the au jus. It'll trap everything in, and it'll be just delicious. Okay, look at these veggies. They're beautiful. Okay. Sizzling good. That's what I want. Yeah, we're doing good. Okay, we're going to put meat down. I'm just going to mix it like this. And then I'm just going to flip it over. And then I'm going to use the rest of my seasoning on. Okay, we got a good sizzle. This is good meat. It's a very thin sliced ribeye. I recommend it. And like I said, I did get it at Costco. You can get it at a few other stores. Like I've gotten some meat at the local Save Mart I have and the local Winkle I have. I bought thin ribeyes myself wherever I could get a sale. Remember, meat's very expensive right now, so what I'm doing is I'm looking for a sale. I've always been a sale person. I have always been a coupon person, or my, card rewards kind of person. So this is not something I just came up with over the last couple of years. I've always been that way. We go to pizza, we have a coupon. So that's kind of how I believe. That's how I kind of do our family. So buy it when it's on sale. I got some good sales on a ribeye at Winco a couple of weeks ago. I got 4 thin steaks for $14.02. It was a ribeye. And I was like, okay, maybe it's not going to taste as good as I want it to taste. But I was mistaken. Actually, that ribeye was very darn good. And I'm kind of picky when it comes to meat. I will not eat meat that I have to chew. I will spit it out first. Either that or I'll put it in my food processor and I will grind it to death. Because it's flavor. It's not so much the most expensive. And if you watch your budget like I do, and like I said, I've always had to watch my budget with having children and family. We always watched our budget. So I suggest just looking around, but this one is a really good deal. And so you'll see it at Costco if you go. I was at Costco a couple days ago, and I did actually see this. It was actually a good price. Not as good as I got, otherwise I would have bought more and I would have told you, but it was a good price. So basically, we're just waiting on our meat to cook a little bit more. And as soon as the meat is cooked, then what we're going to do is dump those veggies back in it and we're going to assemble to those sandwiches. And you can do it 2 ways. Okay, for like the picky person, you can do it 2 ways. I'll show you. You can put your meat down first, and you can then add your cheese, and then you can top with your veggie. Actually, when you do top with your veggie, it actually presentation looks really nice. So we'll probably do that today, and I think what I'm going to do so I don't make a mess everywhere is I'm going to show you how I'm going to put a little bit of my au jus, not much, because like I said, I do not want to take away from my flavor of my meat. I'm going to try a piece of meat. Okay, I can taste a little bit of lemon pepper. I can taste the Italian. I can taste the garlic powder. Wow, I can even taste the onion coming through from the meat. Pretty tender. Not bad at all. This would be a very good meal. If you didn't want to have bread, you don't even need bread with this meal, but that's what a Philly cheese is all about. Having that good roll. Having those veggies. And like I said, even though I'm so picky, when I go to make mine honestly, which I won't make mine on camera because I'm like a 2-year-old, which is fine. I'm going to take out beautiful pieces of bell pepper and lay it across my sandwich. and you're gonna love it. It's gonna taste delicious. I'm just waiting for all my meat to get nice and brown. My veggies are a good texture. Oh, you know, I can see the sprigs of Italian seasoning in there. It looks just beautiful. Okay. So I got my beautiful au jus. Nice and warm. Okay, I'm getting my nice bread. Oh, it's beautiful. Good Lord, it smells delicious. You know, there's something about sourdough bread. You can use sweet too. Our family is just we're very big on sourdough. We love it, especially on nice thick sandwiches like this. Oh, you get the tang. You get the tang of the beautiful bread. You get the seasoned meat. It's absolutely just delicious. And then you get the cheese, and you get the beautiful vegetables. Oh my gosh, so delicious. Okay, I'm gonna get ready real fast here, and then what I'm gonna do is, my meat is pretty much done. I'm going to assemble it a different way today. I'm not going to dump everything because I want you to see the presentation. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take the cheese and I'm going to put it on top of the meat so we get a nice, kind of start to melt that provolone. So what I'm doing is heating it because I'm going to put 2 pieces of provolone on the bottom so that it catches that drippy, sopping kind of liquid au jus that I have going on. See, this piece of cheese is perfect. I'm going to put that on the bottom. Just going to line it in here. Nice. I'm going to take this one. Line it in here. And you could just put it in if you want, but I like my cheese melted. I'm not one that's good on not having melted cheese. So what I'm going to do is take, and I'm going to turn off my meat because it's done. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to dip. You don't have to dip everything. Just take and dip in your au jus. Because you don't want to overpower your beautiful Philly cheesesteak sandwich. You still want it to taste like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here. Look at that. And I'm going to go ahead and take another dip of au jus. But look at that. Gosh, that looks so beautiful. And then I'm going to reserve that cheese right there for my next sandwich. And I'm going to go ahead and, no, I'll just use this one. It's nice and melty. I like that. I want it in and I want it over. Kind of messy sandwich, but I believe in messy sandwiches. That's what's going to be absolutely delicious. And it has all that au jus. You take that goodness that you have in your hand, because you're the one making it, and I'm going to just pick them up with my fingers. So I just want you to see how beautiful this looks. This is a gorgeous sandwich. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one more little drizzle, because you know what? This little drizzle here is what gives me a little bit of salt. And I do not really want to cut this sandwich. I really want you to see this sandwich just the way it is. You can cut it, but if it were me, I would not cut it. I like to eat my sandwiches whole. So I want you to see this. It is delicious. You are going to love this. It's not that expensive. Buy your au jus packets on sale, or either that or make your own. All you need is some beautiful bouillon, stuff like that. You need bouillon, you need onion powder, some Italian seasoning to make whatever kind of au jus you would like to make. But we'll get into that another day. I just want you to see how beautiful this sandwich looks. It's packed with meat. So if you like the content, if you would please like and subscribe, I'd be very grateful and thankful. Remember, inexpensive meal. Got the meat for a good price. Got my cheese. My veggies were a good price. Buns are okay. Buns sometimes, or rolls sometimes are expensive, but just watch and buy this when it's on sale. See all the juices? Please try this, enjoy this, and thank you for coming in and cooking with me and making my Philly cheesesteak sandwich.